Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Onward VR Master League. My name is Nightfire with 2 E's. I am here with my co-caster Noman with a 4. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing great, man. I'm so excited for this match. I've been up for literally minutes, and I'm
Wow.
so ready for this match.
Got a lot of energy then. That's what that means. You're fully charged and ready to rock for a afternoon of onward action. Boss fight and the unit. A little EU duel tonight, or this afternoon, I guess. I don't know what time it is where you people are, okay? We have a global audience. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, okay? But yeah, this is a Master and Gold matchup. This should be a pretty nice brawl.
I'm excited for it mostly because the history of these two teams is interesting to me. They've only really played one match. I mean, in season 6, they played one.
How is that?
Yeah, with the
in
EU standings as they
that's
are,
so
yeah,
strange to see.
It
Like,
is
how is that
strange.
possible?
Yeah, but their score lines were actually relatively close. I mean, Bazaar and Suburbia both went 5-3 in the favor of Boss Fight, but that means that they at some point were either 3-3. Well, actually, they had to be 3-3 in order for that score line to come up. So both went down to the wire, and the unit just not able to close them out in the end. So I'm excited for it because maybe this is that, that underdog story of the weekend between these two teams. What do you think?
I'm curious at the MMR difference between them, 1240 and 1220. So there is a little bit of separation there, not your standard 10 MMR. I'm just trying to organize now the match here. The lobby should be coming up shortly, and I guess we should be talking about the pick bands that we have today. Some interesting ones that we don't even have graphics for yet because they're a new addition to the league. But Boss Fight has banned Snow Peak, and the unit bans Q1.
Yeah, so Snow Peak kind of makes sense. Relatively new. It's literally, I think this week was the first week it was allowed to be picked by the players in matches. And it's a tough one. It's a tough map. I know people's performance suffers on it at times. There's a few other, there were some hitbox issues with some weird graphical glitches that were resolved. So I can understand not wanting to have it available right out the gate. But we did see teams playing on it yesterday, so it is, viable.
And
Q1's the most interesting one for me, though.
yeah, the bans are there, but I'm more interested in this first map pick because we were talking offline earlier before the matchup today and saying that, okay, well, we have our ban, so it's going to be Quarantine Snow Peak. This probably means we're going to get a Downfall, a Bazaar, and a Suburbia or a Cargo. I said Subway, but you said no dice. That's been a flash in the pan. Here we are. Map number 1 is going to be Subway.
I am glad I skipped breakfast because I am eating my words already. This was a surprise. As soon as I loaded in here, I was a little shocked to see Subway as the first pick.
Yeah,
I mean,
right,
it's fine,
yeah.
it's fine that it's a pick, but the first pick?
Yeah.
No, it's a weird tempo setting map because
because it can be so slow or it can be so fast. There's volatile cap opportunities. It has these really weird swing point potential to it, and we're gonna get a north objective, which used to be quite spicy at the spawn, but now that's been adjusted. Well, that's been adjusted for quite some time. But yeah, I want to see these two teams duke it out here because I feel like we haven't really seen a top tier team battle it out yet on at least I haven't watched one on Subway.
Yeah, I mean, this matchup, was the last time we saw a Subway? I think it was the Phoenix SMC game was the last Subway, and
Really?
that one was a nail. Yeah, that was a nail biter.
Yeah, it was.
Through and through.
Yeah, that was when it was because you don't know what to expect. There are the options. There's more than 5. There's more than 5
Yeah.
entry points, so you can't cover every entry point. So you have to really have good defensive strategies and really understand the map to be able to defend against all of the potential pushes. But it also makes it very helter-skelter if you're offense.
It does, yeah. It's a very tough map, and I mean, the fact that it went down to basically 3-3 in that matchup as well was kept tight the whole time by both teams. I think it went down to like 1v1s almost every single game. Like it's it's an interesting map choice, and I think if Boss Fight picked it, they've got to be ready for it, right? I mean, they've got to have been practicing it.
Yeah, absolutely. It is important to remind everybody that Boss Fight is home, so they have map choice. Unit obviously picking into that Volk advantage here. Yeah.
I mean, you say advantage, but I don't even know if there's an advantage on this map for that.
I would say before the adjustments were made to all the available entry points, it was definitely Volk favored. If you had Volk, you were almost guaranteed Subway. Yeah, I guess you're right. That's definitely not so much a heavy favored advantage anymore. Can take a quick look at the active rosters for today. Over on Boss Fight, we have Hoochie, Scooby-Doo, Weather Balloon, Leggle, and Scorpio, the standard operating roster over there. And over on the unit, we have Jamie, Moham, Lone Miyagi, Strazak, and Bullets for Breakfast. Seeing some new names on the unit roster. What are your thoughts on that?
They have been picking people up left and right, last I remember. I mean, it was a couple weeks ago, but definitely a couple of fresh faces on there. And I wonder if that's what's going to give them that revitalizing edge, right? Like, tapes are going to be harder to study.
Yeah.
Because the players weren't on that team anymore, or have left, or now they are new. I don't know. I think it could give them that bit of edge. They played a great game against Boss Fight in Season 6, and I'm hoping we see an even better one here in Season 7.
Absolutely, and we are underway. It is Season 7, Week 8. Boss Fight versus the unit, Round 1, Map 1.
So this spawn is interesting to me because the choices that Boss Fight made here seem very, I don't know, kind of standard. They're not utilizing that basement approach in the hills, but they are waiting out these nades here. Gil and Weather Balloon, yeah, perfect. Gil grabs a headshot there as one rotates through on this north alley.
That's exactly what they wanted. A little shield play there. Really nice use of cover by Leggle, taking advantage of the dumpster as well, and avoids nades and catches out the first pick. That'll open up entry to the stairway. That's going to pretty much start off their whole plan. Everybody else kind of scattered. Man, it is tough to get to people on this map. Hoochie completely underground. He's almost moved his way up into the middle of the subway.
Yeah, they are getting there. And this catwalk approach that Scorpio and Scooby-Doo are doing right here is, I think, really strong. Like, this catwalk approach in general on Subway is so powerful now because of the way that you can get around behind defenses and you can have this huge view of the tracks when you come down. I think it's great that they're doing this coordinated. Like, clearly this was planned. They've got both of them coming down the stairs around the same time, checking their corners. The defense has to be wary of this. This angle is really, really tough to defend against.
They're just kind of getting into position, maybe waiting for North to suss out if there's any defenders down by objective. They do have Bullets for Breakfast tucked in the backside behind that vending machine in the corner, so we'll definitely be something they'll have to deal with. The shield obviously going to be the best use, the best denial, I guess, of that defensive position. All you had to do is really just crouch down the stairs and pick him off.
Yeah, I think that's what he's going to look to do. I think if Jamie decides to rotate, Hoochie here is in a prime position to catch a rotation out of any defender inside of those turnstiles. But really, it's just those two on track 1 that they're going to have to deal with, because Stray Jack's position and Lone Miyagi's position are they're the most difficult ones right now to unseat, especially without a shield or anything else. You just sort of have to wait for them to make some noise.
Yeah, they need Hoochie to be up there and push at the same time as Scorpio pushes out from these stairs, and they can maybe, it would just require simultaneous corner peeks. And I guess this is a good defensive layout here from the unit. They are definitely also ready for this map. I like this this little spread here inside track 1. It's a nice way to hold up the south entry points.
Yeah, it's very tucked in. You don't have to give yourself away too early or anything.
And then you look
shots ringing out there.
I like Jamie's position too. He's, well, not tucked in enough as he gets caught out by bullets from Scooby in the center. I was going to say he's trying to use that pillar there for cover. Weather Balloon with a nice nade, catches bullet, finishes off with a pistol. Objective completely exposed. One down now, all up to Straczak as he comes out, finds Scorpio. The code's getting punched in by Weather. And Straczak goes down in a flurry of rounds, and the unit, all 5 dead in under 30 seconds as Boss Fight take round 1.
Yeah, that is the scary coordinated play that I think the unit had to have been worried about when they didn't ban this map. You know, I mean, when this map came up, it's got to be like, really, you picked Subway? Why?
Yeah.
And now we see why. Boss Fight's definitely been putting in their time on this map.
You know, and I love to see the increased dedication of squads. You know, everybody has definitely upped their game over the last few weeks. Started to put in way more practice time, focusing on strategy more. You know, it's it's definitely showing here with Boss Fight. That was just perfectly planned. As soon as they had that pick from Scorpio, a nade came down on the Weather. North instantly died. They have to try and react to cover that North, you know, to cover the objective, but everybody else in position, ready to rain down the bullets, and they did, and there was just no chance for the unit to defend that objective.
It was pretty beautiful. That's all I'm gonna say about it. It was a very beautiful play by Boss Fight there. They basically had all their ducks in a row. I mean, I'm excited to see what the rest of this map shows from Boss Fight. But I mean, the unit, they had the right idea.
Absolutely.
Right? I mean, they just didn't have they had the improper rotations. Jamie got caught out there a little bit exposed, but I don't know. I think they're not out of this game yet. I think they're going to have a tough Subway, though. Boss Fight's definitely looking very good right now.
See how the unit reacts after that very firm push by Boss Fight. And we'll see if Boss Fight go for any sort of aggressive defensive moves here, because you do have that option with that north spawn. You can really just kind of come storming up like we did see the unit try, but they got picked early, so we'll see if Boss Fight does anything similar.
Free Fire coming out there on the north stairs, but the unit's not even there. They're not worried about it. JB's the only one covering that northern alleyway right now.
You know, I definitely think it's wise for them to invest 3 here north. The unit did that as well, but they lost 1. And I think to have 3 there in the north is crucial because, like we saw last time, if you lose 2, these other guys, Hoochie and Lego, have to rotate to objective because the capping potential is there. So these 2 south positions are really relying on the north to hold their defensive line.
So Boss Fight's not too worried about pushing up into this north alley. Actually, no, Scorpio decides to push up. Oh, man, but Jamie had just rotated out. Oh, and to his detriment, he gets caught moving back into position there after trading equipment with bullets for breakfast and a grenade. He had the pin pulled on a nade. And bullets for breakfast, unfortunately, goes down as well. And that's 2 members of the unit that are incapacitated for this fight. Boss Fight looking real good already on defense from just 1 pick.
Yeah, they are not going to get rezzed either unless Straczak does a long rotation back to pick him up. Everybody else is already pretty much moving into position for the push into the south. You have Straczak here on the stairs. And it does look very similar to the Boss Fight's push. It's just the picks going the other way for the unit.
Yeah, and that is unfortunate that he had that nade. Pin pull. I wonder where he was. I guess he was throwing it down that north alley, but I don't know. Rotating out like that and not checking the corner when you push back definitely bit him in the behind that time. And just like that, it's a 3v5, and the unit is looking to make their approach here, but I wonder if they'll be sharp enough to check their own spots. Straczak here not looking in the way of the Gill. And he's just going to walk backwards into his bullets. Indeed he does, and now it's just a 2v5.
Walks right into those bullets. They have one going underneath Lone Miyagi. They'll try and make something work here.
Apologies, had to sneeze there. Whew. Okay.
I think we caught it, so you're all good.
So, yeah, I mean, at this point, though, I think in a 2v5 situation, you would do the long rotation to grab that res. I mean,
it's too late now. The timer's nearly gone. He'll be dead any second by now. You know, that res, if you start the rotation now, you're not going to get there in time. They've waited too long. And now Moxham, yeah, it's just, I don't think this is going to work for the unit. Unless they have smokes or they land some nice frags onto Hoochie and Lego's position. It's going to be tough, and now Moxham going down from Hoochie in the corner. Ball up to the final member of the unit, Lone Miyagi. The Lone Miyagi.
He's living up to his name in a big way. Not gonna have an easy time here with the boss fight defense. Say that for sure. And Hoochie's gonna be the first one to spot him out here as he comes around this corner. Doesn't manage to spot him out just yet, but smoke should be enough to give away some information. Minute and a half left. And this boss fight defense is cinched up tight. That whole north alley is absolutely locked down. Crack one has eyes on both sides. It's nigh on impossible to get through this by yourself, but we'll see if pull something out of his hat in the next 60 seconds. Lego there makes the call out first, grabs the kill second, and boss fight go up 2-0.
Very strong defense. Just those early picks going their way both times. You know, very fortunate for boss fight. And if I think the unit can manage to find the early pick here on offense, they have a chance because they are looking good. They're definitely they're trying to stay coordinated and they are practiced. It's just boss fight a little bit sharper.
Yeah, they're getting that what is it called? Windfall. That windfall of luck right in the beginning.
Yeah.
And it's sort of pushing their game forward, but the unit's not out yet. 2-0 is not a death sentence on any map and by any stretch. So I'm excited to see how they pull this out. I mean, that objective can be pretty tricky on either side, even before these map changes. So I think seeing something a little bit more centralized, we should see a more even keel. Because I think this objective in particular is particularly tough to defend. Its relative openness, given the fact that it's basically dead center in the middle of the map. At least in terms of player run distance.
You know, this one used to be a lot easier to defend, but these days with all the underground entry points, it's just so much harder to keep tabs of where people could be coming out from. I mean, there's literally an exit from underground right on objective.
Yeah. Yeah, it is very it's a very tricky one now, also because You can cover every entryway if you wanted to, right? With sort of a long corner, sit in a particular area of the map and watch maybe two different corridors. You can kind of cover everything that way. But you're stretched so thin that if somebody goes down, there is absolutely no way you're going to be able to cover two people's worth of locations.
So risky for Lone to be pushing the corner. He does catch out one. Can't get the other as Weather with the shield comes in clutch, but it is a trade at 1v1. And it looks like the unit lost another one.
Yeah, Scorpio picked up Stray Jack here on the catwalk. My favorite little spot. Moxum with the team kill, unfortunately, bringing the unit down to just 2, and it's not looking so good for their defensive round here. Boss fight up 4 players to 2.
Boss fight could be looking at a cap opportunity here. If they get the appropriate smokes out, they'll be coming out right onto objective. Moxum's going to have to deny them. I guess they do have Jamie as well tucked into that corner, but Weather Balloon coming out with the shield doesn't get picked up by the shots. Now they know he's there in the corner.
And the frag finishes that dream off, and it's all up to Moxum. Try to stop this offensive push. 4 members alive. You know they're thinking cap here for sure, but can't imagine Moxum's going to allow that to happen.
No, it's definitely going to be tough. Really require a lack of oversight on Moxum's part. I don't know where they're going to sneak in here. He actually is denying himself vision of this advancement from Weather Balloon. Well, as Weather Balloon's there, Scorpio finds Moxum and boss fight. Take the lead up to 3-0. This is gonna... This is pretty telling, I think, the way boss fights work in this. Unless the unit can really come back on a map pick of their own, I think I'm gonna call it now and say the series is gonna be pretty one-sided here, and boss fight are gonna take it.
Oh, ye of little faith.
I know. I like to jump on the bandwagons early.
Well, I'm going to give the unit, I'm going to give them the opportunity for one map. I'm not going to say that they're going to take a map, but I think that we may still see a 3-3 scenario here somewhere down the line. Maybe Subway's not that map. I mean, obviously boss fight clearly baited them into this this victory here and have put in their work. So I'm thinking the unit might still have some moxie left up their sleeves and might take it to boss fight here and maybe even the next round. I mean, it's their map pick, and we'll see what that ends up being, whether it be downfall or maybe some a little closer range. But I'm going to hold out hope. I'm going to hold out hope for my nail biters.
Yeah, I think they looked so good in round 1. If they can just kind of get that, like I said, if they can just get those early picks and not have that disadvantage that they've been going into every round so far with, yeah, maybe the unit can start to step it up here a little bit. We'll see what they can do as they go on the offensive in round number 4 of map 1. So far, boss fight pretty dominatingly taking these 3 rounds. See if they can keep the fire going. A little panic there.
Yeah, we'll see what the unit's approach is here. I think if they... I mean, sometimes that's just luck of the draw and you grab the right corridor at the right time. So I think they just need that little stroke of luck here. But Stray Jack's going to be running into Lagill very quickly, and he's going to find that pick in the catwalk. Very strong pickup for them. Like I said, that catwalk, I think, definitely dictates the game if you're able to take it away from the enemy team.
Wish the camera would stop popping me outside of the map.
That's where all the action is. That's where all the exciting behind-the-scenes action is. You're as behind the scenes as you can get. I mean, this defense is so stacked on this third and fourth track. Could end up working against them. Scooby's position is not bad.
I think he'll be exposed to Jamie's line of sight at some point here if Jamie keeps making this prone push. And honestly, I think Jamie may be able to prone his way up to objective without anybody ever seeing him. Hoochie maybe, but Hoochie's watching the south.
That would be quite a play if he was able to do that. I mean, Jamie could definitely get across without anybody seeing him. But man, if you commit to that kind of crawl, you better start moving. It's 4 minutes left. You got a long way to go on belly.
He honestly doesn't even need to be crawling. He could stand up and sprint. Nobody's gonna see him. Of course, he doesn't know that. Only we do.
We know everything.
And I mean, again, boss fight in that early disadvantage, 4v5. Or actually, no, this is actually, sorry, the first time boss fight have been at the disadvantage.
Yeah, and this is what I was talking about, right? This is the, you know, they just need that stroke of luck in their favor. Straight Jack picking up that kill on the catwalk could be the catalyst for a comeback. Wow, that's a lot of season Ks there. Could be the catalyst for a comeback. Love my wordplay.
Jamie and now Moxham making their advancement here through the center. I mean, they're free and clear to move up here. You're right. I may have jumped on the bandwagon too soon. Unit could get a potential cap if they're fortunate. Bullets finds Hoochie. That's going to take out really the only line of sight onto the south, unless Scooby turns around.
Oh, that smoke has definitely riled things up a little bit, so they're gonna have to be careful. Scooby's really the only. Up, and there he goes. They've heard the casters.
Scorpio though did rotate into the smoke, got himself up into that corner, found one pick, and now Jamie suppressing him. This is the push from the unit. They're into that 3v2.
Yeah, the south side's approaching as well. Weather Balloon just rotated down. Bullets for Breakfast gonna see him, and they're gonna both get picked up at the same time. Scorpio down with a nade. And that's gonna give Unit their first point here on Suburbia as they go to a defensive round. I don't think we're out of this just yet, Nightfire.
You're right. You are indeed correct. It's that early pick on this map in particular. You know, maybe that's just the real catalyst. If you lose one early on Subway, you're gonna have a bad time because there's so many angles to cover. I think maybe a tighter defense, none of that early aggression is what's needed, but that's so hard to do on a close quarters map like this.
It is. It's very tough to tell your team to not move for 5 minutes, you know, and stay within sight of each other. Like, nobody really wants to do that. It's a hard strategy to sell to your team, but if it works, you know, I don't see why you wouldn't want to do it. But I think that's just that's a team by team basis kind of thing.
We have seen some good nades come out though today on this map so far. A lot of nice frags from both sides. Shield throws and nice tosses, basically right onto people nearly every time. So good use of those frags coming in clutch on these close quarter maps, and maybe that'll be a trend we see throughout the rest of the series.
Yeah, it has been very well done on both sides so far in terms of equipment utilization. And the approach to the objectives has just been great. Like, I feel like both of them are pretty coordinated. Unit, I think, has also put in some work on Subway, because this does not look like a disorganized team attacking an objective.
Their first offensive round, they were looking good. That last offensive round, obviously looking good. We'll see now if they can deny boss fight entry. They've been playing very well on offense. We hop into round number 5. See what happens.
I think This objective too can vary so much depending on the level of aggression you want to put out as a defense. I mean, sometimes heavy aggression will be the way to win this, catching Marsak out as they come up these south stairs. But it doesn't look like the unit's going to opt for that. Scorpio, Weather Balloon, and Hoochie all going to make it up this south alley without really any...
They invested no utility. Sometimes you'll see a smoke and a nade get tossed there.
Yeah, it's interesting not to see that frag. I mean, I was around for the old subway, and a frag down that street was basically just par for the course. You always had to throw it. So it's interesting to see that they chose not to do that, but now Weather Balloon... A little bit of shield noise here. Miyagi should be aware of that position.
Ooh, I think he was trying to pick up that nade and gets team killed. Then gets team confirmed. Jeez Louise. Chaos here for boss fight coming into these new entry points, and we're into a 4v5. They've lost their shield.
Yeah, it's not just losing their teammate, but losing their shield that's a big deal here. For this approach, shields are almost necessary. And Lone Miyagi is just soaking in all this information. I'm sure he can hear almost all of this communication between members of boss fight.
I wonder if they know Scorpio's up there.
Well, we'll find out here momentarily as the guild comes up over the catwalk. And the trade coming out, Lone Miyagi going to be picking up Lego, and he's going to return the favor right back, and now Scorpio is alone on this approach to the objective. Could we be seeing another smoke cap here? I mean, would the unit allow it?
I don't know. They have decent lines of sight. Strayjack and Jamie both here able to look down this lane. A smoke definitely would deny their vision, force movement, rotations.
They've got this blinding flashlight here. On right on the objective as well for those wearing the night vision. Definitely caused some issues. Moxham picks up Hoochie on that south alley. South back alley, I should say. And there's the smoke. There's the second smoke. Aid coming out. Boss fight does the smart rotation. It's just these two members left. And Frag comes out, catches Strayjack as well. The res is going to come out quickly, though. He is back in it. He's got to move, though. He's got to get his gun out.
Uh-oh.
Quick.
Another nade, a nicely placed one, gets a double, and now Scooby getting flanked on the backside. Will he be ready for Moxham? Nades coming out. They're into a 1v2. Scooby now. Shots coming out from his backside. He does know Moxham's there. Are they going to pinch him in time? Now Scooby and Moxham into a bit of a 1v1 as Jamie drops back to defend objective.
What a nice tide-turning nade, but they're still not out of the woodwork yet. They've got to communicate here.
All Moxham needs is Jamie to come into this backside and just get easy shots on the Scooby. Scooby keep going backwards like this. He won't expose himself to Jamie there.
Moxham's just got to be patient. He's going to come out one side or the other.
Scooby prone all the way over, get close to objective, in between them. Yeah, Moxham's now dropping back too. That looks like he botched a nade.
I think if he tucks in on the right side, on the wall closest to Jamie, he could still cap.
Nope, Moxham now coming up over the corner. Still doesn't see Scooby proning here. There, finally spots him, takes the shots in the unit. Staying in it. Trying to muster that comeback, taking it 3-2.
Yeah, and that was a great play despite that very nice set of frag plays by Boss Fight on the approach, grabbing themselves a down and then a double kill. Unit able to box them in and finish them off. Stay alive in this series. I see. This is what I'm talking about, Knifefire. You can't just give up on them. You gotta you gotta believe in the comeback. So the unit here is going to be looking to attack this same objective. Boss fight on the defense. It's a tall order, but I think they can do it. I think that, again, the early pick is what's going to decide it. Who gets downed where? And that's going to be the deciding factor for who wins this particular match. I'm going to call it right now. Whoever gets the first pick wins the round and or the match.
Yeah. Yeah, that team kill for the unit for boss fight was definitely a worst case scenario. Losing that shield, pushing up on a corner that he would have probably gotten an easy kill on. It's just didn't go their way, and surprised nobody decided to pick up the shield after it was down in there.
Yeah, I think for players who don't know the shield very well, having it can be a big detriment. I know from personal experience, because every time I seem to pick it up, I die faster. So that's left untouched, but we are now diving into this. What is this, sixth round? Sixth round.
Going the distance.
Map 1. Oh boy, yeah, we are churning and burning through rounds here on Subway.
Yeah, no kidding. We've gone through nearly 6 rounds in almost 30 minutes. Really not using the full length of the timer whatsoever. Teams pushing up very fast and hard. Here comes Weather. Here's that nade you're talking about. Comes out. Does catch Strazek on the backside. Just a down. He'll be resable. Will Bullets for Breakfast be ready to catch up another one?
Flashbang coming out, but no follow-up. We're not going to call this the pick, okay? Because no one's died yet. I still believe. I believe the unit. I believe in you.
I don't think Strazak can see this lane. So he can't radio in if it's safe or not. Bullets for Breakfast is going to go up and inch his way forward for the res, and I think he should be able to get that pretty safely.
Yeah, all of the boss fight positions are pretty cheeky and you know, sort of tucked away, watching little corridors. So I think he should be good. It's that final approach that they're going to have to worry about.
So you'll probably get a warning before they come.
I really like Scooby's position, sitting here on this trash bag, able to peek up over the top side of the garbage there.
I have seen that spot utilized more than once in a couple of our league games, so it's pretty common, but I think that the unit might expect it. I think it's common enough, especially in public lobbies.
I like Hoochie's position too, pretty tucked in, using that table to sort of cover his head from nades. And interesting defensive spot. Weather Balloon catching Jamie, trying to come out of that new hole, new entryway, and
well, there's that pick.
Yeah,
there's that
there
pick.
it is.
Now, now it's looking like Boss Fight is poised to take this away. But we'll see. Caster predictions are known to be highly volatile. Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking of the same word.
The same word, yeah.
One
That's
in the north, got
we've
one in
been
the north.
casting
He's
together
still
too
alive,
much.
still alive. Fucking Batman saved his life.
Probably.
It's bleeding into our real lives. Ruby's position here is very interesting. He's gonna find himself one.
I'm good. I'm good.
This is such a hard spot to hit because you see that little roof above Scooby's position. Lobbing a long-range nade to this back is tough. So you kind of have to like thread it in this small gap where there's some room. And yeah, it's a solid spot to be to defend that lane.
Yeah, it's definitely a pickle for Lode Miyagi. I don't know how he's gonna opt to clear this one.
We got 5 up and 2 kills, 3 enemies.
Bullets for Breakfast gonna find himself some Scorpio in his little tucked in dumpster position.
That's a very
Now
meta
you know.
spot. That's one that, you know, you're talking about. You would even expect people to be in. It's, well, I guess I would even expect people to be in, and I haven't played in quite some time. So it's a very standard spot. Scooby catching out. Lone Miyagi trying to come up, and Hoochie finishing it off. And now the unit only with 1 remaining And you're right, that first pick definitely the decider as Boss Fight looking to grab the map.
Lone Miyagi had a great opportunity there to grab 2, but he got a little too excited after the pick, didn't confirm the kill, and is able to rotate back in, finish him off, and grab the res. So that could have been a nice, I mean, it would have been a 1v2 had that, or actually, sorry, a 2v2 had that worked out. But unfortunately, Bullets for Breakfast going to be the only one trying to keep his team in it with 1:30 left here on Subway as Boss Fight looks to close out map 1.
You know, the unit coming into their next map pick, this is definitely looking much more promising than I was earlier anticipating with the 3-0 lead from Boss Fight. Those 3 rounds looked so good from Boss Fight. It was just looking like it was going to be a dominating series, but Unit have turned it on these last 2 rounds. I don't think they're going to be able to grab the map, but they're going to be going into their next map choice. Definitely an opportunity there to get a map win and take it down to that 3rd and final one.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen the last of the Unit in this match for sure. I mean, this is pretty telling. They put up a strong comeback here on Subway, so I think that on their next map pick,
He's checking the wrong.
we might see something surprising.
Unfortunately. He's rail on the edge here.
Fucking news there.
Legel sitting in that corner does catch him out, and there's the dub for Boss Fight, taking map 1 4-2.
Pretty respectable scoreline, I think, for what we were seeing there. But yeah, it really was. I mean, I'd love to go back and rewatch, but I'm pretty sure every time they got an early pick, the team that got that early pick would be the one winning. Yeah, it was. I think it was definitely the strategy for both teams to play it slow until they got it. But Boss Fight able to squeak that one by, and now I'm excited to see what we jump into for map 2, and it's looking like that map is going to be, yes indeed, Suburbia.
Keeping it tight, keeping it close quarters.
Yeah, this one is going to be definitely bombastic. I think that's the term I'm going to use today.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Bombastic.
It's a good one. Definitely interested to see how the nade usage comes into play here, because it was quite often on Subway. I expect to see quite a bit of it here today on Suburbia. And the unit, yeah, it is their map pick, and they'll be going on Marsoc to kick it off on Suburbia.
Oh, that is a kind of unfortunate. The objective they're going to get is this south garage. And that one is just such a hard objective to get as your first one on Suburbia. It can be a little demoralizing because it's usually not the one you end up, capping on. It's not the simplest objective to attack. They're going to have a bit of an uphill battle as they jump into this first map. But I think this might actually be a false start.
Do ya? I think we could be getting into the real thing. I think we're underway into round 1 of map number 2. No time wasted. Both squads ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, they want to get at it. I want them to get at it as well.
Love me the fast-paced action. Uchi needs a cough drop, as you can hear him losing along. And an early pick from Weather Balloon kicks things off for Boss Fight. We'll see if the early pick trend continues. Jamie trying to find a refrag with some suppressive fire. None of that is landing.
Weather Balloon's returning it. Jamie's got to be careful here. Nice little nade coming back. Almost catching Weather Balloon out. I mean, if
it was right where he was. If Weather Balloon hadn't rotated, that was a really nice toss.
That was beautiful. Now we're in a 4v5. Straightjack making his approach here in lane 1, but he's gonna run into some hefty resistance.
Weather Balloon, Jamie, Scooby-Doo actually is the one to find him up in the 2-story, and here comes a follow-up frag to confirm it. A bit too far. Lone Miyagi and the rest of his squad into a 3v5.
Stray Jack landing a few bullets onto the Gill. They're not going to find him. Scooby,
Oh.
though, is going to finish it off for the unit. Grab his own teammate. And make it a 4v3. I'm curious as to what Bullets for Breakfast is doing here. He was all the way back in their spawn.
Oh, Lone Miyagi catching out Scorpio, and I was as well. We were just tuned into his perspective because shots were fired. I think he was looking for the two-story pick way back from the spawn angle. Now nearly everybody from Boss Fight, Hoochie, Weather, and Doors up in the two-story, all just kind of dialed in over here to Strayjack. Does open up the opportunity for Lone Miyagi. Hoochie with an aggressive move catches him out, and now we're into a 3v2.
And this 3v2 is still looking good. If they can unseat Scooby, they've got a decent opportunity to pick up the other two. Scooby's definitely the most dangerous position. Really, not even because he can kill them, but because he can make the call-outs and allow his team to make the proper rotations to pick up those kills. But they are doing the right thing and rotating out of his field of view, at least temporarily. I think.
Okay, enemy at school bus falling back. He could be magic fence already.
Yeah, I think he did spot them crossing in the back there, so the call-out still did come out.
I heard a call out for a magic fence. They have a call out that is magic fence over on Boss Fight.
Interesting.
I want to know what's so magical about it.
I think somebody dropped a couple of tabs of acid and decided that all the fences were magical.
Could well be the case as we get closer and closer to this finale of round one. Bullets for Breakfast gonna have to push into the middle objective building, and I think this is probably one of the longest rounds we've had on the closest quarters map.
Yeah, we saw maybe one or two on Subway
That's true.
come down.
They did come down to like the 30 or 40 seconds.
Yeah, come down kind of low. But for Suburbia, this is like twice as slow. Usually rounds on Suburbia are over in about 2 minutes. Bullets looking to put some bullets down into the common positions there inside the center house, but really he's just drawing attention to himself. He's going to have to be careful as Weather Balloon does have eyes on that front side, and now Scooby as well putting down that suppressing fire. He's going to have a hard time coming through, and Weather Balloon's going to pick up Lone Miyagi there on the back side, leaving Bullets for Breakfast the only man.
You know, right where he is. Shots coming in from all angles. Bullets for Breakfast dodging them like Neo, but can't dodge them much longer as Scooby finally catches him out in Boss Fight. Take round one.
So that early pick so far still dictating the winner of the round. We'll see if that trend continues well into Suburbia as unit looks to defend this same objective. Try to stay in this series. I mean, all it takes is a nice little cap on the burning building objective, maybe, to turn things around for the unit. So again, I'm not counting them out. It's not going to happen. You can't make me. Now, they have been playing very well. I think a little bit there was, a little bit of the issue there was sort of a disconnect. Bullets for Breakfast kind of lagging behind, looking to get that long-range pick, and both not being able to find it and being disconnected from the team kind of set them back a little bit. But we'll see if the defense they mount is strong enough to hold back the bossiest of fights.
Do not cross South Street until we come Alpha, guys. South Street.
Somebody. Hey, me.
Call outs
we are
there
seeing-
for Boss Fight. It looks like Scooby-Doo seems to kind of be the captain, so to speak.
Field commander.
There
That's
you go.
the phrase I've decided to use all the time. He's the field commander for the team.
Watch lane 2.
Early shots ringing out, not going to find anybody there.
A lot of pre-fire right now.
Hey, you never know.
Jamie's about to find out as he rounds the corner. Does take one bullet into the shoulder, is able to get a heal off, and is going to go for a frag up and over. What
think
a
it's gonna be
great
good.
toss!
There it is. Scorpio's going to go down. A quick res is going to come out, but now he's in a bit of an advantageous position here. Weather balloon looking to make that shield flick kill. Doesn't find it, but the callouts are real. And now they are aware of 2 of the members of Boss Fight. They've just got to zero in on the final 3, but Moxum's going to find Scooby-Doo, and now it's just 2 on this west side.
There's the early pick. Strajak's really up here. I don't know if Weather and Scorpio are going to be ready for this.
Yeah, the callouts are there. They're aware of the positioning. Maybe he's going to have to be careful here. Weather Balloon pushing this corner. He doesn't spot him, and he's going to grab him with a nice little pistol kill, but Straight Jack's on the backside, grabs Weather Balloon, refragged immediately by Scorpio, and we're into a 3v3 with 1 res available on the unit.
Wonder if they'll have Miyagi get out there and get that res. He definitely could pick him up. Scorpio, though, is standing up onto that. Yeah, Scorpio doesn't have an angle either, so they definitely need to rotate, but will they is the question.
I think in this scenario, you absolutely have to.
Yeah, you gotta get that res.
Gotta get that res.
One down, centre house. He's down, I got him.
Uchi's going to find Moxum upstairs. Now they're safe to come down that west side. Almost entirely unimpeded, in fact.
Still no res for Jamie. I don't think they're going to go up there and get him. I don't think they want to cross the street here. Miyagi and Bullets tucked in. There's 3 minutes left. So Legel, Hoochie, Scorpio have all the time in the world to work with.
I think Jamie's position works well as a call-out position as well, so if they're thinking there's going to be a boss fight push, it may be worthwhile to sit back and try to catch it, because here's that push indeed as we're seeing the smokes come out from the boss fight side.
Legel and Miyagi trading, and now Bullets, the last member alive for the unit, rotating when he's the final one up, trying to cover objective. No, maybe not the right rotation there, but either way, Boss Fight take advantage and grab their second win on Suburbia, taking the lead to 2-0.
So the streak is broken. The first pick did not dictate that round win.
Really? I thought Boss Fight had the first pick.
No, it was Moxum on
you're
defense from the upstairs window. Yeah, he was-
everything is been changed.
it's all topsy-turvy. Yeah. All kinds of new words in today's cast. All kinds of. It's an educational.
If we could
cast,
figure
you know?
out a way that to fit in Tip Top Magoo, would be great too.
Get on it, chat. Figure out a way.
When a heel comes out,
Yeah.
I got it.
You got okay.
Yeah.
All you. Got it. Before this round starts, though, I do want to say thank you to all the people in the chat. I have been seeing some subs come in.
Oh, yeah.
I think a couple of biddies have dropped, so thank you guys for that, for hanging out with us today as we bring you this spicy action between the unit and boss fight. Unit looking to put themselves back on the board. They got a new objective. Tank objective is going to be where we're fighting today, and we'll see if they can mount an offense. They can maybe get them a cap.
Jamie with some spawning pre-fire there, trying to catch anybody coming out of spawn early, but everybody opting for that other angle for obvious reasons, and now they've up and moved into objective and are tucked in. have a really weak east side defense here. Oh, it seems at least. Scooby literally blind firing, just trying to put out rounds to draw the eye and maybe slow down the push from Long Miyagi and Bullets. Weather Balloon finds Jamie and Scorpio catching out Strajac by APC. The push from the unit did come out, but just not quite. I don't know. That was interesting. They pushed up before anybody else. Bit out of sync.
Yeah, you definitely want some either suppressive fire or some smokes out when you're making that push. Weather Balloon with a very nice long-range toss onto Lone Miyagi here. He is going to get the res. That was a little bank shot off the roof. Moxum now in trouble as well as
Is Bullets going to get the res? He's just looking at Miyagi right now. There he is. He'll get Lone Miyagi all tip-top Magoo as Moxum pushes in bottom floor.
Grenade trap, shut the hide windows.
Shots are ringing out. If he can find one upstairs, at least. Even things out just a tiny bit, make it a 4v3. Hoochie now rotating back into that position. Oh, almost gets caught out. Not quite. Moxum rotating out just in time.
Pressure fire from Miyagi allowing Moxum to rotate around. Hoochie pushing up hard into that bottom story. Moxum's tucked in. They do trade. Now into a 2v4. Weather Balloon getting aggressive, catches out Lone Miyagi, and Boss Fight looking to secure themselves their third round on Suburbia, charging forward into that series win if they can find this one and another. Bullets for breakfast, the last one alive for the unit.
Yeah, he does not have a ton to work with here. He's going to need a lot of utility if he wants to make any very long rotations around the map. And have any hope of getting close to that objective. I think at this point he's just got to try and grab as many kills as he can before the time runs out. Gotta find a good way in. Weather Balloon gonna be the most likely one to... Yeah, I mean, there's really not a lot of open area here to exploit. Honestly, lane 4 was still probably the best way to get in.
Yeah.
And even that's not ideal, but he needs to find Weather Balloon here in the next 10 to 15 seconds to really make this comeback viable.
I think he is going to get caught out. Angle from Weather shortly. No, Weather actually just peeking the opposite direction. Now he catches him out as Bullets rounds the corner, and Boss Fight takes their third round, pushing that lead to 3-0. Now, can the unit muster their comeback yet again?
I think they absolutely can. Starting off on a defensive round is always a good way to put yourself back on the map, but they have to be focusing on how they're going to make their offensive pushes work. Like what's missing in their formula? Like, I think a little bit of coordination is missing between a couple of the players, and I think they need to dedicate some more resources to their push. Like the smokes I've seen from them have been lackluster or a little bit too spread out. I think the biggest thing is the directionality of smokes now makes it very difficult to just commit 1 or 2 smokes to an area. You really have to sort of lay it down thick to get any hope of covering any particular area. So I don't know. I think they need to pick a lane and make a nice approach on it. But it's tough. You know, Boss Fight's gonna definitely toss those frag grenades right on top of you every time. And it could be pretty tricky.
Yeah. Absolutely. And we'll see how the unit handle what could be the series deciding round. Boss Fight can take it. Up into round number 4 of map 2.
No picks coming out yet, but tons of pre-fire and bush fire shots coming out from Boss Fight and the unit. The frags coming out as well. If they'd have directed those in a lane, they might have been able to pick up 1 or 2. So far, Boss Fight unimpeded as they make their approach in lanes 1 and 4.
Strajac is there, ready. Now maybe pushing the corner, getting a little aggressive here, trading with Scorpio, but Scorpio the one coming out ahead. Boss Fight with the early pick.
Strajak's gonna even it out though, find Legal in that long lane 1 angle. Scooby and Weather Balloon don't have a whole lot to respond with. That frag gonna fall far short. Scooby's frag as well might actually catch his own teammate, does indeed. And Weather Balloon goes down to that frag. Unfortunate toss coming out.
Oh, and he got the res, but Weather kind of T-posed there as he came up, and Strajac saw that, so now Strajac aware of this corner position.
Scooby telling his teammate, "You ran into my grenade." It's not my fault. You ran into my grenade. How dare you? It's always funny.
Weather Balloon and Scooby dropped back to avoid Strajac here. A nice move from them, and they'll rotate around to the other side of the rest of their team.
There's an enemy at APC. We're just going to leave APC. We're going to take this for front court.
Scooby's the guy who tells the police officer that that telephone pole came out of nowhere.
Weather spots, knocks him out, can't land the snapshot. Meanwhile, Strajac has sort of advanced his way up past the APC. I don't know if Scooby and Weather are going to be ready for that. Strajac now actually not taking advantage and pushing forward. Could have found 2, but instead drops back to APC, and we're still into a 4v4.
Smokes are out. Scorpio on that slide position is going to find him some Moxum, and Scooby's up in the smoke. He's got Pat out. He's looking for it.
Uh-oh,
Lone Miyagi team kills, unfortunately, because that was the only person likely to catch this cap by Boss Fight. Lone Miyagi gets a kill, but no one's checking the objective, and Boss Fight's going to punch in that code for a 5-0 win here on Suburbia. And that is the beauty of a rotation and communication with your team. Boss Fight showing that very well as they gave up on lane 1, reinforced lane 4, made that push, and grabbed themselves a nice little cap here to close out the series with a 2-map win. We are still going to that 3rd map, so the teams have an opportunity to get even more of that sweet, sweet MMR juice. But a pretty dominating performance there by Boss Fight on Suburbia. Units map pick as well, and this third map is... I think this is a first.
Yeah, spicy new one.
I think this is a first for us at the VRML Master League Twitch. I lost the whole thing. I lost the whole sentence there. The map is Bazaar 2, folks, okay? Just get off my back. Bazaar 2, Bazaar the Night variant. Again, the first time I think we've seen it in League play, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember the time there was.
Yeah, we've had some new map additions to the pool. Snow Peak, Bazaar Night. I don't know if there was one more that I'm blanking on, but yeah, it's.
I think Downfall Night was the other discussion. I don't think that one made it though.
Okay. But yeah, we got some new additions to kind of, I don't know, diversify the map pool a bit more, and that's fun to see. They've chosen it as map number 3.
You know what's interesting? We've seen all these. We've seen Subway. Now we've seen Bazaar Night. And yet no new equipment. No M203 grenade launchers or smokes.
I think those are still... I know I believe M203 and RPG are still banned unless both agreed upon. So,
right, but that's what I'm saying. Like, these teams will agree to play Bazaar Night and
I think Bazaar Night, yeah, I guess. Those are basically what needs to happen with now the tweaks is that there have been some adjustments to M203, and hopefully they make the game, the attachment more competitive viable, because that's the reason it was initially banned. Concerns about its integrity for the competitive scene. But yeah, I'd love to start seeing that get mixed into the rotation. It was fun to kind of see its use in that one SMC matchup, although it didn't really come in too much, it didn't factor into very many kills. It was fun to watch, and so yeah, I think we'll see it soon. And once it's in, we'll make sure to notify you. But that's why you're not seeing any M203s or RPGs if you are curious, just because it's still banned. But yeah, I'd like to see that get reworked and relooked at it, because it's a whole nother beast.
Yeah, it definitely is. I think the biggest factor is going to be the M203 smokes. Those are those really have opportunities to make for some really juicy plays when you can laser point your smoke to blind certain areas. It's a game changer, really, because right now the smokes are at the mercy of whatever your headset is and what controllers you're using and your frame rate and all this other stuff. So it's pretty much a dice roll every time you throw your smoke. But when you have a way to just place 2 smokes, right, 2 players running M203 smokes, you can place 2 of them anywhere, almost exactly where you want them. I think that's going to make for some really interesting plays.
Absolutely. Kind of take out the bit of luck / randomization factor of throwing a nade and getting it perfectly placed. It's definitely also a huge skill requirement, but it's finicky at times, so M203 guarantees the nade goes where you want it. And we are underway with our Bazaar Night. Boss fight on the offensive. Or actually, interesting, boss fight on the offensive.
Yeah, I wonder if...
the unit picked a Volk.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, no, this is correct. I think Boss Fight picked this. Boss Fight picked Bazaar Night and then got offense, because they picked Subway.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Everything.
yeah, so that makes sense.
No.
Making me think they're all weird.
Really.
It is indeed. But so far, the matchup hasn't... I mean, it hasn't been that one-sided. The score definitely is, but it's put up a good fight so far. Not quite as close as their last meeting. And maybe as you were talking about some of those new faces on the unit still getting their stripes, as it were, on this team. And what better way to vet you know, new players than playing one of the top teams in the EU. Scooby-Doo gonna find himself a nice quick pick on Moxham there
He's dead.
in the long hallway of Blue Room.
That opens up that entire south push, and there's 4 of them here, so they can really start to roll in onto the objective now.
Lots of suppressive fire coming down there. None of it gonna land on anybody.
Surprised Strazak isn't keeping a more diligent eye on this lane here after they've lost that blue room cover. He's pretty much the only one that can deny the cross. And they are well aware of that if they toss a nicely placed smoke right onto that corner. Although it
Quite a
doesn't get the
few.
angle. Yeah. Yeah, they follow up with a few more. That one they tossed didn't get the angle they wanted, and Strajak's going to try and get a nade of his own. Not exactly where he wanted it to go. There's the bit of inconsistencies we're talking about with nades, and here comes the push from Boss Fight. All 4 storming in. Bullets for breakfast. The only one on objective. He goes down quick. Strazak now missing him. Jamie missing him. Lone Miyagi catching the backside, but Scorpio's inside objective on the corner, punching in code. What is Miyagi doing? He goes for the knife. Weather Balloon's here with the shield. They're into a 1v2. Weather Balloon finds him with the pistol, and in an odd turn of events, Boss Fight take the round 1-0.
That could have been, as Buxton might say, utterly devastating if the unit wasn't more careful. Going for the showmanship knife on that cap is maybe not what you want to do when you're down 2-0 on the series.
I think he ran out of ammo, didn't go for the reload, tried to go for the quick kill, couldn't get that. I mean, just the panic there, but Boss Fight do take the round and maintain their strong lead. 10-2 total score now.
Yeah, I believe that is now, let me do the quick, I think it's 7 unanswered points by Boss Fight since Subway. So they won that last round of Subway after losing 1. And then from that point on, they have not yet lost a single round. Definitely hit their stride. The unit gonna have to find a way to shut down this momentum and try to keep themselves in this Bizarre Night map. But again, Boss Fight looks like they've definitely put in the work on this map as well. Man, I want to be watching more Boss Fight games coming up. I want to see how they, because can you imagine taking them taking the beginners to something like this? Yeah, this could be a really interesting matchup with these map choices.
They're definitely looking practice. They're going to have to be ready for a top tier challenge like that, though. Beginners also putting in the work. It's just like we can see with Globochem SMC. Those top teams do not sit on their loins when they're at the top. They are definitely putting in even harder work to maintain that top position.
Yeah, every single possible day for them.
Gotta be some onward.
You gotta do the onward if you wanna win the game. Unit opting for a more spread out approach. Not gonna be taking that lane crashing approach that Boss Fight took in their last round. Now we're going to be seeing a more spread out offense. Looking for those picks early.
A bit more meta of an offense. This is typically what you see. You have a couple people go out through you have 2 go out through the center, 2 from the south, 1 from the north, and it's very standard defense from Boss Fight to cover those angles as well. Scooby and Weather, and they have that one over in the far north over there, Hoochie. Scorpio rather, to pick off anybody trying to come down this north lane.
In the nighttime, it's going to be that much more devastating to try to pick that Volk defender off. They're so hard to spot at that distance.
Uchi catches Strazak, Moxham finding Scorpio on the north. So he was
Fair.
able to spot him out.
Yeah, I was gonna say apparently not that hard to see. Maybe I'm just blind and need to go to the doctor.
He was Reservoir was able to
Confirm coming out as well.
Yeah,
Jeez.
he was able to communicate the information though. So Hoochie is aware that somebody's over here on the north now. See him kind of shift his direction, his attention there, and Jamie, after kind of putting out some rounds south, hasn't really spotted anyone. He could cross the street pretty easy. I guess Weather Balloon really the only line of sight, and it'll be a late one that'll catch him out.
Now, Moxham's gonna have to deal with Leggle here. Hoochie's not his main concern. Leggle in that north window. He's rotated in. Gonna be, you know, I was gonna say he's gonna be tough to see, but apparently I'm blind.
Yeah,
so
you gotta be careful on that now.
I am the wrong barometer for this, but Moxham is gonna have to deal with Leggle. Although he has now rotated more towards the south end of that building, laying down some fire at nobody.
Weather Balloon does finally catch Jamie out on the cross. The rest of the unit is coming in through Mini Courtyard, but they're now into a 3v4.
I mean, all of their positions are very common. I would imagine if the unit had done some homework on Boss Fight's positioning for this objective, they would have each and every one of these positions duly noted, because I think I legitimately had deja vu seeing them sitting in those spots.
Yeah.
We'll see if the unit's able to pick up. I mean, they're really going to need to pick up Weather and Scooby. The rest will sort of fall into place as they rotate back to the objective.
Surprised Leggle hasn't spotted Moxham here as he peeks through that window. Somehow Moxham also not spotting him, just sort of... He has these little bricks blocking his view.
One down, cable room.
You'll be getting a Mini Courtyard kill there, and now it's up to Lone Miyagi in the north. Scratch that, just Lone Miyagi. He is all alone as he rounds the corner looking for Hoochie. Can't find him. Hoochie misses some shots. Lone Miyagi drops back, and now Hoochie has the back of Lone Miyagi. He takes the round. Goes up 2-0. Yeah, what's the thought there?
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that Lone Miyagi didn't load his machine gun. I think he rounded that corner fully expecting to blast Hoochie in the face, and then decided to about face when his gun clicked and did not fire because he didn't feed the belt into the M249. Oh, man. Oh, that is rough. Can you imagine making it all the way across the map and then realizing at the clutch moment you don't have your gun loaded?
And you're going on 8 unanswered points. Yeah, it was just like insult to injury at that point.
Oh, jeez. That's a rough push. Unit getting systematically dismantled there by Boss Fight on their approach, and Boss Fight really running away with this series now. I think they're going to be looking for a cap to close this map out.
Yeah, this is definitely a capable objective too, if they can get the appropriate picks. Maybe some nice smokes out there. Push up hard and fast. At the very least, it could be a very quick round.
Absolutely. God, Lone Miyagi right there was my spirit animal. You know, I totally get it. Yeah, I totally get it. Just one of those days. But Boss Fight now going to be looking to make their offensive push here and put 9 unanswered points up on the board as we're in this third map.
He can't do that. It's Weather
Yeah, for an EU game, this is relatively speedy. We are only about an hour and 20 minutes into
Yeah, it
this
really is.
matchup. And we're about to close out this third map, so starting to see a little bit more of that. Maybe it's the button cup. Maybe we're infecting the EU with our quicker play styles.
Wow. One crosses at tank. Lego completely exposed here. Doesn't get picked up, and we're in for some firefighting here.
End is on the salt edge. It's like on Main Street. Southwest corner.
Yeah, Strajac does have a little vision onto the shield. Can't see that there's two more offensive members over there. Offensive enemies pushing in. Strajac does rotate out from the tank, gets hit once with a quick little heal up, and then goes back looking for more. Lego nearly catching him out.
We could do it now on the frontal now. Just wait for to come back.
Yeah, the offense not sure what to do with this approach. Man, I am so not used to seeing a slow approach to this objective. NA teams have ruined me. Scooby's gonna find Jamie on that north side. Looking for the confirm. Hasn't found it yet.
I don't think he will. Jamie's kind of down to behind the pallets there. But this is not quite the push yet from Boss Fight. Maybe around 2 minutes I think it'll come out, because they're going to need that east rotation. They're going to need Hoochie to push up, find Strajac, or at least get into position to come in towards objective. There is finally the confirm.
All outs were being made there, though, so they should be aware they've got at least one on the north side. I don't know if he saw both coming up that north angle, but you should have some information.
Nice
Scorpio
little
gonna find Lone Miyagi there on a cheeky little cross.
Scooby-Doo also tossing a flashlight down the lane to block bullets. Vision, Moxum and bullets. A bit of exchange. Weather Balloon getting caught on the backside by Strajac, who has pushed up. Is Lego going to be ready for that? Doesn't matter as Hoochie catches him. Lego getting picked up by Moxum. Scorpio on the backside. Moxum goes down. Bullets for breakfast, the last one. Really on to objective. Actually, Moxum's still alive and a team kill coming out. Now it's all up to Hoochie into a 1v2.
Hoochie's in that clutcher kick scenario after killing his teammate. He does grab one down. The rest should be coming out quickly here from Moxum. Sure is taking his time trying to revive him. I don't think they have any
Syringes.
I don't think they have any syringes. Yeah, the frag comes out and he confirms both kills. And Boss Fight with a very nice nade are gonna grab themselves the 9th unanswered point in this series.
Yeah, it's a bit more along the lines of what I was expecting after seeing those first 3 rounds from Boss Fight. Unit definitely showing that they can have that strategy and they have the team coordination. They're definitely a team to watch out for, but, you know, Boss Fight just a little bit tighter and a little bit more in sync. And able to take the series and probably this map if they can muster up a Volk defensive round.
Yeah, we will see what they're able to put up, though. I mean, Hoochie's little team kill there. I'm not letting him get away with it. He's not as coordinated as he probably should be.
He killed his teammates, but then he won the match. So is it really so bad?
That's true. I was just seeing somebody.
I actually think he killed his teammate and then took his grenade, and then killed the last 2 guys with his team. So really, he was just getting a nade for himself to finish it off.
That's what I'm saying. I think I just saw in the Discord somebody was talking about that fabled 1v9 clutch someone's gonna do one day, where they kill their whole team and then they kill the whole enemy team. I think Gucci's practicing for that.
Yeah, you're right.
But on night variants of maps, you know, we laugh about it here because we have flashlights and we can clearly see with high resolution what players look like. But on those night maps with the shadows as they are, it can be real tough to see who's a friendly and an enemy. And
That's very true.
when you're in the heat of battle, anything can happen. So I'm gonna let Hoochie off the hook this time, but not every time, Hoochie. You only get one.
Scuba take it, scuba take it, scuba take it.
See what the unit go for with this quick spawn. They do send at least 3 up pretty early to crash into Coyote. Kind of risky these days with some of the defensive posturing some players will take. They'll be looking for early picks like that, but nothing coming out from boss fight. And the 5v5 should take some time to unfold.
Yeah, and this approach is more what I'm used to. It's just a little slower than the average, but this push through the bazaar straight through tends to be the most successful, but it does require quite a bit of equipment utilization and no small amount of luck when you're trying to get your early picks out. Not a whole lot of action yet from either side as Boss Fight looks to try to slowly take this one for themselves and put up 10 unanswered points since the first map. But the unit is, I don't know, I think they have a plan, but they are just waiting on that pick.
Oh, there's some team kill action coming out from the unit. A little bit of confusion in the dark as one goes down, unresable, and they're into a 4v5.
There's definitely an unfortunate scenario on this final, or potentially final round. But as we were saying, those shadows can be real tricky. They're a real tricky dick.
We'll see C4 getting deployed there. Lone Miyagi getting caught in through that sliver.
No confirm, though. It's interesting, because I'm pretty sure I saw blood spurting out of Lone Miyagi as Scooby laid fire down on him. He's not able to get the confirm. The bullets are hitting the player on my screen. That's such an interesting, I guess, bug? I don't really know what to call that.
I wonder if he's just got some sort of, maybe that pipe coverage. I don't know, you know, there's something denying the shot there, but either way, it's another going down for the unit as Lego catches out the north rotation. And another, and the unit down into a 1v5 now, just like that, as the rotation came around that side, catching out the res, and now Jamie left all alone, trying to take map number 3. Be a tough one.
It is not going to be easy, but I mean, honestly, if he grabs Scorpio and his fingers are fast enough, he could theoretically still capture this objective. I mean, Scooby might be able to spot him out from his position. It's a lot of posts in the way, but
I think Jamie just took his headset off because he was getting a phone call. I heard some sort of ringing or something.
not now, Mom. It's
No.
not a phase.
Oh, Scooby-Doo just missing Jamie. Maybe catching his feet peeking out there, unsure. Yeah, he did, and he charges in, catches him in the back, and Boss Fight grabbed that final round and the overall series of all 3 maps. 10 unanswered points for a final score of 13-2.
Yeah, not as close of a series as I had anticipated based on the scoreline from their game last season, but that's the problem with statistics.
Yeah.
Very misleading sometimes, but good fight on both sides. I think the unit's going to have a lot to review here, and a lot of interesting map choices by Boss Fight as well, so I'm excited to see some of their games coming up in the next couple weeks.
Absolutely. It's going to be a fun sort of later half of the season. A lot of these top teams battling it out, pushing in for that final, the final top 10 rankings, and it's going to be fun. If you want to get involved in the VR Master League, you can head on over to vrmasterleague.com/onward. You can follow the Twitter, the Twitch, and join the Discord. And that's where you'll get all of the info on when matches are going to get cast and etc. I think that is it from us tonight. My name is Nightfire with 2 E's, my co-caster Nolan with a 4. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you later.
See you guys.